Over the past few months, we have seen the fall of diversity officers. A lot of them have been fired or have left major companies, Disney included. A couple of months ago, Latondra Newton, who previously held the position, departed the company, but now Disney has actually announced they are replacing them with a new officer. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. So starting off with this Hollywood Reporter article, it says Disney names Tanisha Agramont new Chief Diversity Officer. The Walt Disney Company has named her as its Senior Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer. Now, first of all, companies should not have Chief Diversity Officers, okay? This position should not exist. Anything they do should probably just fall under HR, but that's not the case anymore, of course. Companies want to make it appear like they are doing the absolute most to, improve diversity and inclusivity at their company. So all of the major ones over the past few years have added these diversity officers. And I know a lot of people were very hopeful that when Latondra Newton actually left back in June, that Disney might do a 180 and make a switch, and it does not seem like that is happening. It says this individual, who is already a Disney executive, will lead the company's diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy. The hiring comes after Latondra Newton, who previously held that position, departed the company. Agramont has been at Disney for 1 year only, working as the Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Talent Outreach and Development within Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. And of course, one of the most notable situations with the parks was how they were allegedly banning use of gendered language in order to promote inclusivity and a safe environment for workers, which of course is just in of itself absurd. But it says in the new role she will report to Sonia Coleman, Senior Executive Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer. Among each of our teams and in every community where we live and work around the world, Disney is committed to building a more inclusive and respectful world. Tanisha is an integral member of our executive leadership and a dedicated, well-respected leader within Disney. As our new CDO, her expansive knowledge and expertise, having worked in a variety of industries, will allow us to continue creating a welcoming environment for our employees globally. And if you don't know who she is, because I did not, she actually previously worked as the first Chief Diversity Officer at Motorola and worked in senior executive positions within the federal government, including CDO and Director for the Office of Civil Rights in the Department of Commerce, and Assistant Administrator for Diversity, Inclusion, and Civil Rights within the U.S. Small Business Administration. So her entire career has been working this diversity angle, which is just maximum grift. But like I mentioned, I know when Latondra had left, a lot of people were hopeful that Disney would change direction and not hire someone else for this position, but it was always kind of wishful thinking. They have doubled and tripled down on this, so it's hard to imagine them changing their plans now. It would have meant an entire brand shift, and they haven't indicated that that's the direction they want to go in. From what we know, Bob Iger is a major reason they have continued down this path, and now that we've heard, reports that he's tired and overwhelmed with the company, we could see a shift at the company if they decided to move on from the reign of Iger, or if he actually ditches the company. But again, it's all kind of wishful thinking at this point. Hiring people like this, though, just proves that the message is all they really care about. We have seen the focus in on DEI initiatives at the company, and people like her are directly behind them. The content in their films focuses on diverse, inclusive stories only, and they're de-emphasizing things like traditional relationships on purpose. I just talked about that in a recent video, but they're ditching princes and these romantic relationships, and it's a direct direct result of modern day feminism. You know, what is traditional and wholesome in these relationships between men and women has been demonized, and it's like they're trying to show that it's abnormal when that couldn't be further from the truth. And we are seeing that in, you know, not only just their storytelling, but also at the company. They are acting like, oh my gosh, there's not enough women, there's not enough, you know, people of color, and we need to change that because this company doesn't reflect the world around us, and our content doesn't reflect the world around us, even though it previously had. I mean, of course, it is always good to tell different, unique stories in movies, TV shows, entertainment in general, but they have pushed that as far as they can, and they are doing it at the company as well. I mean, they are not hiring the best people for the job anymore. They are hiring the people who check off those boxes at the company now. So it looks like they are doing their best. They are being the most inclusive company that they possibly could be. And of course, none of this is going to get you new viewers and new supporters. Hiring DEI specialists isn't going to improve your content, and all these people do are divide their audiences. But like I mentioned, we have seen recently the rise and fall of the chief diversity officer. This was an article from only July that I had previously covered, but it says diversity executives hit the exits as companies' priorities shift. Everything is a battle. Again, in my opinion, these positions should not exist. These people should not have jobs in these positions. It's just that plain and simple. But it says companies including Netflix, Disney, and Warner Brothers Discovery have recently said that high-profile diversity, equity, and inclusion executives will be leaving their jobs. Thousands of diversity-focused workers have been laid off since last year, and some companies are scaling back racial justice commitments. Again, I don't think that these positions should exist at all, but people were very hopeful that maybe the companies would shift around after losing so much money trying to bank on these things. But it doesn't seem to be the case for Disney. But yeah, I mean, this is a different article from December. As you can see, woke fail. Disney had lost $123 billion in market value in 2022, and it was their worst year since 1974. So people did think, you know, that was going to be their big shift. They lost billions and billions of dollars last year. In the past 12 months, it's rumored that they have lost over $1 billion on just the box office and films. So people were, you know, thinking they've really got to change things around, but it does not seem like they are going to be changing things around as quickly as some were hoping now that they have a brand new chief diversity officer in place. I mean, only time will tell. Maybe things will change at the company, but this definitely is not a good sign for the future of Disney. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.